Hey mathematicians, let's talk about improper fractions. You can see the base word there, proper, which is a synonym. It also means correct or something along those lines. When we've got this prefix im, it kind of means the opposite. So something that's not correct, a fraction that's not correct. Let's take a look. You can see that I've drawn two pizzas here and I've shaded in all 4 quarters there and one of the quarters there. So we could write this as a mixed numeral as 1 whole and 1 quarter. That would be a proper fraction. An improper fraction, because that's correct, an improper fraction looks a little bit different. How many quarters do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my denominator is 4 because I need 1, 2, 3, 4 to make a whole. This is the same thing as this, but it is an improper fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. What we need to do, what we would do with this, is turn it into a mixed numeral, a mixed number, to show it correctly. Let's try another example. I'll draw, why not back to trusty old friend Mars bar, and we'll cut those Mars bars in half and shade 1, 2, 3 of our halves. The improper fraction would look like 1, 2, 3 halves. And how many halves does it take to make a whole? It takes 2. There's our improper fraction, 3 over 2. It's not right, is it? So let's change that into a mixed number. How many wholes do we have there? Well, I can see that we've got 1 whole Mars bar, but even if we didn't have the drawing there, I would know that it takes 2 pieces to make a whole, and out of 3 pieces there, that would give me 1 whole and 1 left over. So we could write that as a mixed number, 1 whole and then 1 half left over. So that would be the correct way to change this improper fraction into a mixed number. What if we tried to change some mixed numbers into improper fractions? Go back the other way, just for fun. 1 3/4, that's a mixed number. Great. How could we change that into an improper fraction? So we know we don't want any wholes there. We want to get it all into the fraction here. 1 whole, 1 3/4, I know is going to be all of these 4 shaded and 3 out of these 4 shaded. There's my 1 3/4. So I could write that as an improper fraction, count up the pieces, the shaded pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pieces. And our denominator, how many pieces make a whole? 4 pieces. So our improper fraction would be 7 over 4. The same thing, but written as an improper fraction. Let's try one last example of that. Two and 2/3. Let's try something like that. Okay, so it might help to draw it out. It helps me to visualize the fraction. Now I know because the denominator is 3, I'm dividing my Mars bars into equal thirds. And I know that I need to shade 2 whole ones. And 2/3 of the last one. Okay, so now let's turn that into an improper fraction. How many numerators are we going to have on the top here? How many pieces do we have shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes sense because it's 3 plus 3 is 6, plus another 2 is 8. 8 over how many to make a whole? What's our denominator going to be? 3. So that 2 2/3 as an improper fraction, 8 over 3.